All right, so today's question of the day comes from Alexander, who asked, how do you post so much if you're in the Navy? So Alexander is basically asking, how do you find the time to do the things that you want to do? You know, as you can see, I do a little bit with social media. So my top 3 priorities right now in my life is education, fitness, and social media, right? And I do a little bit with social media. I've slowed down compared to when I started this channel, like, 9-8 months ago or whatever. I used to post 3 videos a day, but now, I post 1 video a day. So I'm trying to get back into it. But anyway, for you, you're going to have your own unique goals, right? And I want you to understand, I work 70 hours a week. That's the higher end of the spectrum in the normal aspects. People normally in the Navy, they work, from my observation, 40, 45 hours a week, sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more. But, for me, I'm a little bit higher end in the spectrum. So what I want you to understand is that people will generally do whatever they want to do. And I'm sure you're guilty of this too, and I am too. Even though we know we should be doing something, right? Something that's making progress towards our goal, like I said, my 3 areas. But instead, people choose not to do it and spend, like, let's say 2 hours watching Netflix, right? Instead of, let's say one of your goal is education, right? So going to school, using tuition assistance. But instead of studying and reading books, guess what most people do? They spend 2 hours watching a movie or spending on Netflix or hanging out with friends. Not to say that's bad, but the balance is way off compared to how normally people think. People think, oh, work-life balance, work hard, play hard. But most people play harder than they actually work. That's from my observation, okay? It should be the other way around, right? So what I want you to do is take the mask off. Take the mask off. I've taken mine off a long time ago. And what's the mask? The mask is making excuses. Oh, I work 40 hours a week. I don't have time to do this. I work 40 hours a week and I'm a full-time student. I don't have time to do this, right? I would love to have time, but I don't have time. You know what's so funny? I'll ask people sometimes, I'll go, hey, do you want to work extra 8 hours this week? They'll say, psh, I don't have time. Are you crazy? I don't have time to work extra 8 hours a week. And then, later on, I'll come back to them and say, yo, what are you doing this weekend? And they'll say, nothing. Right? That's the craziest thing. People will make time for whatever they want to do. So if you want to actually make progress towards your goal, you have to start rewiring your priorities. And I'm going to be sharing with you 3 practical things that I personally do. So before I do share with you those, try to make a progress. Spend an hour or 2 hours or, at best 3 hours each day making progress towards your goal. Spending at least an hour towards each goal. So like I said, I have education, fitness, and social media. So fitness, I spend at least 20 minutes a day. Generally it's right about 30 minutes to an hour, working out and stuff like that. But at least, if nothing else, I spend at least 20 minutes in the gym, whether it be lifting weights or, before I go to sleep, I do some push-ups. And when it comes to reading books, at least I like to spend 30 minutes a day, okay? And when it comes to social media, that's, I was about to take the 2 fingers off, but in terms of social media, that takes the bulk of my time because it takes a long time to make a video because, I brainstorm a lot of ideas, so it takes generally an hour, 2 hours. But to share with you some 3 practical things that I do is, number 1, I keep a time management journal. And I've kept the time management journal for the last 4 years. I started this 4 years ago. So right here, I track each 30 minutes of my day, what I'm doing, and I put, the priorities, prayers, or reminders, whatever the case may be. So I track 30 minutes each day. So when I come home after work, let's say it's a day off, and I see that I've watched TV for like 5 hours, and I look back on my day and I was like, man, where did my time go? I can clearly see, right, I wasted my time, right? So I have no excuses. It's clearly my fault. I spent 5 hours watching TV, right? So you learn from it. So next time, instead of 5 hours, maybe spend 3 hours. Right? And in reality, maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe you spend 4 hours, but you catch yourself and you have that extra hour to work towards something that you want to accomplish. So that's one practical thing. If you want to do it, get a composition book and start tracking 30 minutes each day, and write down what you're doing, and write down your goals for the day, your prayers, whatever the case may be for you. You know, you can tailor it to your own unique specifics. You might be saying, why don't you just buy a journal? Well, I tried that. It didn't work for me. So customizing one works for me. Second thing is 5-minute workout. So, you know, for me, I'm trying to be much more fit, right? So what works for me is, let's say I'm at work, I'm working those 16-hour days, and I have at least a 5-minute break downtime. I just get 2 chairs. Let's say it's a chest day. I just get 2 chairs, grab it, and just do dips. Knock it out for 5 minutes. Or maybe, do push-ups for 2 minutes straight. Most people can't do push-ups for 2 minutes straight. I can't do it 2 minutes straight. It's crazy, right? So, and the third thing is eating and reading. So in terms of education-wise, while I'm eating, whether it be this Bible here, I like to read, or, educational self-help, self-growth, personal, or autobiography and stuff like that, biography, or, time management books, stuff like that. So I like to read, right? If I'm eating, right, I go to a quiet place. While I'm eating, I like to read books real quick and then come back to work and socialize. You're not really doing anything different. Like, you're not taking time away from talking to your friends. You can talk to your friends after you finish eating and reading, right? You're not going to miss something important within, 5, 10, 15 minutes of your time that you're eating, right? Nonetheless, you're going to actually learn something. But that is my advice for you. Thank you for watching. Hope this video helped. Hope it gave you some practical tips and ideas. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.